This is for a guy called Tetro, also called I'm Tetro on Twitter. I am currently playing with a 5-man pre-made on Faceit, which is slowly turning into a team. Now that's awesome. We have only recently started playing Nuke. I am the ramp player, and most of the games we have a good T side. I feel like on the CT side we lose quite easily, and our retakes aren't that good, or we are taking fights that we shouldn't be doing. How can we improve on A and B side retakes and holds? So let's get into the demo and see if I can help these guys to become a pro team. Who knows? Maybe it's the next Gambit, you know? I have ramp control, playing A, the Mullo, did. Ooh. Alright, I have already first mistake. You see here. Oops. Way too late Mullo. Let's see if they get punished. This was supposed to escalate, which it's not. So here's already first mistake. And later on I will go on the server and show overall idea how you can improve. Wait too late Molo, alright. So that's something that definitely do a lot. Isn't it Molo something late, guys? Let's check it out. Blood. Alright. Double events, okay. This guy's baiting. Ramp rotating as well. So this is a full rotate, 3 guys down. Very dangerous. Oi, there's so many gaps right now. This is escalating, guys. Okay, yeah. Late Molos again. Main. Inside ramp. How are you blocking ramp? So now Tetra, my buddy, you should smoke now. It's quite area on the map. We have full yard control. This is definitely smelling like ramp. And what do we get here? He is about to get many kills, but yeah. So smoke outside, but not many smokes. So now he's blocking ramp early, right? Let's see how this round falls out. No smokes outside, full yard control. Playing too heavy A. Now he should Molotov ramp because it's way too quiet. They're playing the same setup all the time. Which is not bad if you have the full control of... It looks like they really like this setup, right? This guy's playing started around, this guy's starting main, so they're really good if they do A rush, if they move on time. Then we have the ramp guy, so I want to see what the rotations are. Oh my, good shot by SG, huh? So now this guy should leave ramp, I would say. Because either has to drop down or fight on the heaven. We have to figure out where the enemies are going. So now, oi, they don't know their crush secret here, I'm pretty sure. Let's enjoy this situation of this guy. The classic one. Oh, okay, good. But not good. So now ramp guy should drop, or you push in lobby. Think we are getting an idea here, boys. Okay, I think I've seen enough here in this situation. So let's get this started, right? First of all, day players should know these 2 Molotovs. It's pretty simple. You did this Molotov for hot, instant comp ladder, you do this Molotov for hot. It's the best one if they're rushing because it's outside and they're burning. The second Molotov, if you want a Molotov from heaven, is that you come here, you line up like this, and you Molo. And if the door is open, I'll show you. If the door is open, it's burning behind the smoke, you see? So it's burning behind, so if it's going out, it doesn't turn off by the Molotov. So there's the 2 Molotovs you need to throw instant to shut down A rush. So that's one of the things they definitely need in the playbook. And this Molotov is pretty easy when you first train it. You just come here, run, and aim like that. That one is something you should be able to do to shut down A. So having this guy starting main is pretty good. If they are rushing down vents or something, he just spams vents. So the setup they have is fine. One thing for the ramp player, in this case was Tetro, is that what you want to do on ramp is using utility to begin with. And see what happens. And then if you hear nothing and they're not doing any smokes outside here, you have full yard control, you want to block ramp as soon as possible, right? Because this smells like an A execute or whatever. But if you have an early information with an AWP or anything, it's fine. But what I recommend at least is like if they do an A execute, you instant Molotov. Because the only way you're gonna lose this round when you're playing this 1 yard, 1 main and 2 A is the ramp player dies early. The rotations towards down is not good. So the ramp guy has to play in a position where he plays off info and he goes down and plays safe, and he gets a win rotation to help him win him down, right? So that's one thing. Playing all in position on ramp is not good if you don't have win one secret. What they definitely also need in the playbook is that instead of always starting 3 guys heavy A, after you kind of shut down the A rush, then what I think is pretty good is that one of the yard players is coming to smoke ramp, goes instant secret. So if they rush ramp, you're actually 2 guys ramp already, right? And then he can take care down here. If there could be down vents, he can clear the vent area and he will be have secret, right? Then your Orber is getting a lot more space outside, meaning, okay, I don't need to care completely. After you have secret control, he can go back and he has a more free roll. The only thing that becomes the problem here is to take around cat, but if they go secret, the Orber just need to focus if they go around cat, right? And he can also come towards ramp, and they can double push ramp, whatever they want to. So he asked about retakes. So I think the best way to retake, which is the meta right now, and just ask me a question if you have, boys, okay? This is the smoke. You just come here, just aim here, and this is a one-way. Basically, that's what everybody's doing right now. You see here how much you see inside, and you don't see him really good. You see his head now, but he has advantage in this one-way, right? So this one-way is really good to front up here, and you can just go train it yourself. Then you can go 2 guys out heaven, and you can like bounce flash like this, and you peek with the flash, right? And whoop-tee, you have a good retake. What else you can do is, if you want to add a little more to it, you can like Molotov hot. You have an extra Molo. The lands, so the T's can't push out, but what they can do is sit behind it. But you Molotov off this angle where he can play off angle to heaven, right? So that's definitely really good retake. And the same goes if you come on main and you have a smoke, then you smoke here. Smoke door, and you guys are retaking A with from heaven and from here, right? So that could be a really good retake. What else you want to do is, if you're going to do the retake really good, you can also one from heaven that's flashing like in the open here, you know? The lands right here, so you go out in the smoke, you get the flash, and you peek. With this flash, he has no chance to dodge. Impossible. The other one, he can in theory dodge, but you're peeking with the flash. So if you guys know what I mean, it's like you peek like this, you don't get blind, but this guy has to decide if he wants to wait the flash or dodge, right? So that's a similar way of kind of retaking it. The problem about Nuke is that when you retake, there's so many different scenarios, right? But let's put a scenario where you have you're retaking from ramp, 3 guys. Let's say like that. You have some kind of nades. What I would do is, if you know they're in like short, you just smoke short. Depends on the scenario, of course. What else you can do is come here like this. Yeah. You see, it burns the whole thing. So I'll just show it one more time. So you can just come here, you aim on this bottle here, fire extinguisher, and you crouch. And then you can just simply go also with a flash, I guess. So in case somebody's playing close down here, he gets blind. He doesn't, so maybe useless flash. But you get my point. So that Smolo and that smoke is really good. What you also can do, I think, is just throwing a smoke here. The problem about this smoke here is that you have to hit it perfect every time, else you create a one-way. So I would recommend just to fight that guy instead. Again, there's so many different scenarios, right? Is the door open, is the door not open? Should you smoke door here, not smoking short? It all just comes down to be on the same page when you retake. So you can just come here, shoulder peek, okay, door is open, you smoke that instead, so you can take the area, right? But in the end, I think the most important Molotov is this, because this guy can really create bad scenario for you guys, right? He's impossible to clear. Yeah, like I said, they should have the setup where they have one guy starting secret, so he can shut down vents and he can shut down the secret outside. Then also what is really good is that you act a lot on Nuke, right? So if you're playing ramp, like I said, you lose one guy outside, right? You lose this guy outside, then often people are either going fast secret, which they mostly do, but sometimes they actually also go around cat. So you have one guy main here, holding if they go around cat. If he gets smoked off, direction should be really on point here, because you're like 2 to 3 guys A. What you should do is either crunch lobby, like you just sandwich lobby with ramp pushing, or you rotate down one guy from A, and this guy's gonna go under heaven, and if you had one heaven, then you can fight double fight outside, you know, like double straight free out. And just clear outside to go around cat. On Nuke, it's really important that you prioritize what you want to shut down. You have to leave some kind of gap, because it's impossible to hold all the gaps on the map. What's the best default CT setup? I think what they played is the most common one. You have an orb outside here, or it can be info. You have one guy starting main, and 2 guys coming from heaven doing the nades here, right? And sometimes you can just have one of the heaven guys stay up here, holding this position, not dropping down. And then in case they come ramp, he's fast rotation, and one of the guys from main is then going in and taking A. So you switch around the rotation suddenly, right? If they're going fast ramp. So here you cover everything. Also by having that setup on heaven up here, that if they're going fast secret, doing smokes outside, and these guys don't know how many guys are down, the ramp guy can then molotov ramp here, if he did molotov before, or block ramp, and go down secret, while the heaven guy is rotating towards backup here, you know? So he has ramp suddenly, and then he's also fast rotation towards A. And the guy in main is moving into main. So you keep two guys A all the time. That's, I think, most important thing, unless you are gambling. Does this make sense how you're moving around the pieces? So if the ramp is rotating down, you need to be aware, okay, we leave ramp open, or you're gonna have one guy taking over ramp, and therefore it's also nice to save your utility in ramp, but you have to, depending on what's happening in the map. So if you save your utility in ramp, and they're not doing any smokes outside, there's a big chance to do A execute, or they do ramp execute, right? And therefore I think it's a balance where I feel like, okay, this smells like ramp, but it smells like A, then I have to use my utility towards that. If they have control, we should always push something, right? I don't necessarily agree. It depends on how scenario is, right? You can have two guys down, as long as you know they're not down secret, and so you can't get sandwiched. But if they can be sandwiched, if they can be down secret, and they have ramp control, you have to do something, because it's impossible to hold two guys down here. But if those two guys here can just focus on holding ramp, then I think it's fine. So let's say you have a scenario where you have one guy holding here, but still ready to come A and help. Then you have one on the heaven here, and you have two guys down and one guy A, right? So if they come A, you're actually instant up here, heaven, and you have one main and you have one on side, right? So if three guys A, and if they want to go down secret, then you have to push something. Then you can double push ramp and kill the guy's ramp, but you have to put the focus somewhere if they have ramp and secret. But them having ramp, you don't need to push, because sometimes teams or in phases, they're just expecting a push and they just hold angle. So it all comes down to if you feel comfortable down. But if they, like I said, if they're secret, I don't think it's good to just sit and wait. So I think this is enough for Nuke for now, and let's try to move on to the next question.